further down by like the entrance to the, I think it's the middle school.
Coming up behind him, moved over to the opposing lane of travel.
I started to turn and then I saw a light.
He kind of did a little, like a wobble, like didn't know what to do. And then I thought he was going to go right. And instead, he tried to turn left.
And next thing I know, I was in the hospital.
March 21st, 2019 is the day Luther Roberts' life changed forever. A quick trip to talk with his uncle ended with severe consequences.
It was like what they call a traumatic amputation. So when the car hit me, it just took my leg with it.
Roberts was hit by Savannah police officer Matthew Clay.
Just tell me what happened.
So we had a call for a robbery.
He can be heard on this dash cam video explaining what happened before the crash.
Lights and siren. Lights and siren.
The problem? He passed Roberts in a no passing zone going more than 40 miles over the speed limit. Roberts says he never saw it coming.
He cut the lights on like 2 seconds before he hit me.
So you had no warning?
No.
Roberts estimates he spent 4.5 months in the hospital after the accident, only the last month or so conscious. He dealt with a brain injury, organ damage, burns, memory loss, headaches, damage to his hand, depression, and of course, the loss of his leg. And data shows Roberts is far from the only person who's been in a crash with the Savannah Police Department. Georgia Department of Transportation data shows from January 2022 to April 2025, SPD was involved in 469 crashes, 9 of those causing serious injuries. In the same time period, the Atlanta Police Department was involved in 680 crashes, also causing 9 serious injuries. But Savannah is much smaller than Atlanta. The numbers show SPD officers getting crashes at double the rate of Atlanta police officers.
GDOT data doesn't distinguish who is at fault, but SPD data shows that officers were in 385 preventable crashes in that same time frame.
When I thought about it at first hand, I thought that's an interesting fact or some interesting numbers and data that we have.
Alderman Curtis Pertee represents Savannah's 6th District, but also has 25 years of experience in law enforcement. He says there are key differences between the two cities that could be contributing factors: pedestrian traffic, a crowded downtown area, and lots of truck traffic from the ports. All things officers have to deal with too.
Sometimes police officers are victim to the same things that people are.
Should they be held to a higher standard given their position?
Officers, when they're out patrolling, oftentimes they're not just focused on the rules of the road. When they're patrolling a neighborhood, and sometimes the littlest things that they may not see can cause an accident. But should we hold them to a higher standard all the time?
An investigation by Georgia Post, the agency that oversees officers in the state, found at the time of the crash, Clay was driving over 80 miles an hour. He also didn't help Luther Roberts because Roberts was on fire. Clay thought Roberts was debris from the accident. A bystander saved Roberts instead.
The officer told him to stop when he was putting out the fire. He's the one that applied a tourniquet to stop me from bleeding out.
Clay was suspended from the Savannah Police Department for 40 hours. He was put on probation by post for 2 years. He was also indicted in Chatham County on a misdemeanor reckless driving charge, but the case was dropped after he completed a pretrial diversion program. He now works for the Bryan County Sheriff's Office.
He's able to advance in his career while I'm stuck. I'm going in reverse. Is there going to ever be any consequences? Just because you have a badge, that doesn't mean that your neglect is washed away.
The city of Savannah did take a financial hit from Roberts' crash, paying him $500,000. Roberts says it's not nearly enough to cover his now lifetime of medical expenses, but it's a drop in the bucket compared to what the city has paid other crash victims since the beginning of 2019. Since then, the city has paid 216 people a combined $3.9 million just for crashes they've been in with SPD officers.
Should the number be lower than $3 million? All day long. All day long. Once you start getting into some of those medical bills and damages on vehicle, that sort of thing, the price can get awfully high. We are paying out, the community is paying out because of the actions of our city employees.
Pertee believes training is the way to prevent scenarios like Luther Roberts's. Recruits go through 2 weeks of training at the police academy prior to certification. Stephen Rivers, who oversees driver training at SPD, says the department's officers do driver training once a year, which focuses more on routine driving than pursuit scenarios.
Paying attention to everything, right? Consideration of other drivers around you. We can't drive for other people, but a lot of times we can pay attention, extreme attention, and you may see something that could or couldn't go good.
The training takes place at a course in Southside Savannah that Alderman Pertee says is simply not big enough.
They never revert back to that training when they don't get the training to be able to go out on a larger track in a larger area and practice some of those things and learn the ability of what their vehicle can do.
Pertee says he's been working with SPD to identify spaces in Savannah a bigger course could go. As for Roberts, he's not riding motorcycles anymore. His doctor's telling him he's just lucky to be alive.
Do you feel lucky?
Well, lucky, I wouldn't use that term. I feel more like I still have a purpose. That's my explanation. I'm still here to do something more.